right, welcome to Nofa Show. We are the extended video content slash podcast. Don't forget to. I'm not the host, or I am the host for this session. Usually it's
Are we calling it
Adams.
for your consideration or no?
Huh? No.
Or,
Oh yeah,
or,
yeah. So this is the extended. We're calling it for
No,
your
just Nofa Extra.
Nofa Extra.
oh, no for extra.
We're
Ooh,
gonna
I
call it
like
the
that.
Nofa
I like
Extra.
that.
We're on the Nofa Extra, and we got me, Chai, who's really on, and we have
Sam, hi, everybody.
Gagne.
and Gagne. All right, cool. So today we're covering the Fallen series. So we're having Olympus Fallen, London Has Fallen, and Angel Has Fallen that just got into theaters.
Yes, the trilogy, or I think it's trilogy.
And
So-
and first, before we start, props to Shai, who watched 3 movies in a day and a half, just to make sure that he was prepared for this. So thank
He
you,
did his
producer.
homework.
Thank you, producer Shai, for doing your homework. Excellent
that
job.
Was, that was a very tense. Okay, all right, Gagne, you want to start it? You want to start us off?
Okay, well, I mean, do we want to dive into? We talked a little bit on the show, so hopefully you guys listened. But Sam and I kind of gave our scores. Obviously, we thoroughly enjoyed Angel Has Fallen. I personally, in on any movie that Gerard Butler is saving the day, Geostorm, this whole series, like, sign me up. But the fact that this one, had Morgan Freeman also as the president, kind of sold me. So. I'm gonna say that of the series, this probably was my second favorite one.
Okay.
So I mean, if you want to go through, I don't want to steal your guys' thunder, but we had the first one, which was Olympus, where it's in the White House, and we've got Two-Face as the president,
Correct.
Aaron Eckhart, and they're buddies and they're real close, and great film. The opening lawn scene in that movie, like when they're trying to get in the White House, is so intense. The first time I saw that movie, I was in the D-Box theaters where the seats move, and so
nice.
I'm like felt like an idiot. Okay, I was the only one who bought a ticket in the 2 rows that were D-Box, and everybody else in the auditorium was behind me, not in the D-Box. So here's one guy by himself in the theater, just like being shipping around every time like explosions are happening, and everybody behind me just watching the movie with the back of my head just going like this. So it's it was an experience, but the film was fantastic. Like that, it's so intense. It's it harkens to the 80s action films where like obviously there was probably over 1,500 rounds shot at the guy, but he only got like nicked. Yeah. Obviously, it's not believable. Neither is, military forces getting on the White House lawn. So, take it with a grain of salt.
Exactly. It was a fun movie.
And that one had Morgan Freeman as vice president. So that, you're like, haha, I know what's coming.
No, I thought he was Mr.
Right?
Speaker. No, he was Mr. Speaker.
The
He was
speaker, okay.
And then so
My apologies.
I apparently, I didn't know about that. Apparently, when you're speaker, and if the president, vice president is not available, then he becomes the next default president.
Right.
Yeah,
right. So you've got the breakdown. I was a little off on that, but
No, that's okay. It's okay.
I think something happens, right? They get locked in.
in the bunker. They get locked in the bunker.
Yeah.
So you have to
you
realize
should-
this is like
you-
fresh in
you-
my mind. I just watched this.
If you want to take it through, go for it, because I'm going off of memory.
So this is So the funniest part, when you said you were watching in this in like rocking chair, I was watching this at work, and I'm watching this on Netflix. So I had my earbuds on, and I didn't realize I cranked it like almost max. So when the first explosion happened, and you have to realize I'm at work at break, and everybody's like around me, and I just literally just went like the first explosion. I just didn't expect it. Like I threw my phone in the air, and like I was like, oh. Shoot, that was really loud. Like I was like, this is not good, but it was really intense. So, like what's it called? It was really bad, but it was really funny because I freaked out. But so I have to say, like, Olympus Has Fallen has probably like out of the 3, I really enjoyed that the most.
Yeah.
Like I thought, I think it was just like more. I was like the character's backstory was just so solid as far as like. Not just the story, but like there was like a lot of emotional attachment. It wasn't just like, oh, okay.
There's a lot of heart to it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's when, and then like the details were really like, I have to say the details were like intense. Like, the bad guy's motive was really strong. I really like that. Like the bad guy's motive was just like, oh, he was determined to like like nothing would kind of stop him. Like, you know, it was so well organized. There was like, oh man, things were so intense. Like the details, like, oh, it takes 15 minutes for the response team to get here. We did in 13. How is that? I was like, oh, okay, this is some very detailed storyline. So I definitely enjoyed that one. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things that they do in action films, where it's like, you know, response team, they know our response times, they know our, you know, our flight plan and all, you know, it's like, oh, these are smart bad guys, like they are prepared. But I love it. Like, I eat that stuff up.
Yeah.
It's the cheese that you get in like 24. You know, it's like
exactly.
Okay, like, you got to suspend belief here and just, you know, follow your hero along while the action unfolds.
What number would you give the guys for the movie series? What rating would you give it?
The series as a whole?
Oh no, just one each individual.
Oh, Olympus for me is a 9. I agree with Chai entirely. Like it is from start to finish like a good film. Like Antoine Fuqua directed it. Like dude did Training Day. Dude, like he knows action. He knows how to tell a story that can also be, you know, an action thriller. So like that one's a 9 to me. London's like a 7.5, 7.
Okay.
You know, it's like it was not as memorable. Like the story was obviously like. I think the only really exciting part was spoilers. President dies.
Yeah.
So that was probably the only like, whoa, like they actually did it. Like I wasn't sure if they were going to. And then the last one was probably an 8.
Nice. What about you, Chai? This
So
is still fresh in your
I
mind.
agree. 9 on Olympus. London, I would give it 7, and then Angel was more like, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like 6, but 6 or 5. Yeah, I didn't like. I get the idea, and like the title's really like connected, but like I said, Olympus set the standard really high. Like the bad guys have good motive. The bad guys was badass too. It wasn't just like, I'm just the mastermind and that's it. Like I was the master. I was one of the guys. I'm skilled. I'm ruthless. Like the basic, like the true formula of like a real good bad guy. Not like just okay, I'm all brains. So like London, I felt like, oh, this guy's weak and these guys weak. Like okay, the orchestrated formula was strong, but like wasn't like the fight didn't turn out to be like, oh, this is a badass, and you know, this is not a badass bad guy, you know. And even like the Angel was more like, oh, the only thing that reminded me of was what's that movie, the X-Men 2 movie, because the bad guy is Stryker.
Colonel Stryker.
Oh, so we were all off on that. I said X-Men 2, but it actually was what? Origins? It was X-Men Origins Wolverine, right?
Oh yeah, X-Men.
Oh, the dude,
Wolverine.
the Striker
Did
guy.
he play Stryker? Yeah.
So
Danny Houston. Yeah, he's a good actor.
I couldn't separate. It was so bad. I go,
Friggin' jet.
my God, but I don't know.
That's actually one reason I liked it, because London had such a forgettable bad guy that like I liked that they didn't do a good job telling a story. It was like you knew he was the bad guy like
right
the
away.
first 5 minutes. You're like, yep, that's gonna be the bad guy. Like new character just introduced, running a covert training military,
private
hardcore bad guy.
You're like, yeah, okay. So
he wasn't badass like killer badass. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving the first.
I
one too much
understand.
credit.
I understand. Well, here's my question to you, Chai. Would it have made a difference between watching it off your phone or at home than in the theater for that movie, the last one?
No, it wouldn't made a difference. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I've been really like. I'm not saying like I'm numb or like I'm able just to like. I think from all the experience all the years watching movies and working in the movie theater, like not movie, but watching so many movies, like not in the movie, but in that booth, that little square in the booth.
Right.
Like I've been able to just like get all of it in. I'm not like I don't miss the details much anymore, because you guys talk about it so much to a point where I'm like, oh man, they're paying attention to things that I didn't even know. Okay, so I'm gonna start looking at it more in that way, and it really helped. I was like, okay, so now when I watch, I don't really miss much. That's why I could recall like so much stuff.
Yeah.
And, it blows my wife's mind that she's like, did you remember all that? I was like, yeah, I remember pretty much most of it. It doesn't really like, unless like we don't talk about it for another year, I'll be like, yeah, I gotta watch the whole thing.
Gotcha. For me, the number's different for me, because watching in theaters did affect it, because with London, with Olympus Has Fallen, definitely a 9. London was probably like 7.5, like Gagne said. And then with this one, Angel Has Fallen, I want to stick between 7.5 or 8, just because watching in theaters, like, you felt the explosion. Remember that scene where his dad tells him to pull the lever, and, like, that big explosion? Like, dude, that in theaters, like, shook into my chest. I was like, holy crap, that was amazing.
And you pointed that out on the podcast, right, Sam? You were talking about how they kind of did the Tropic Thunder thing, where, you know, the explosion. And so it was just like, and it went speaker to speaker. It was incredible. It was just like boom, boom, boom. Like, as you're watching it on the screen, I was like, that's amazing sound editing to capture that. Good. Like, it puts you more, you know, into the film
in the moment.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I could agree with that. So
the drone scene was the same way.
Oh yeah,
dude,
so
the drone was like,
scene
like
was
that.
You would just hear, like, you know, surround sound as they're flying by, and then, like, the explosions would hit the center channel, and then, you know, it just kind of excellent sound editing.
I agree, guys. It made a world difference. Like you said, come sit there, you know, just eating the popcorn, and then I hear the drone zooming through the theater itself. I'm like, oh shit, like, wow, I'm in the moment. Like, that really affected the number on my rating scale, because it was just so amazing, that the sound quality. And I also enjoy the fact that, like, you know, it shows our guy getting older. You know, he's trying to heal back up, trying to get back in the game, but stuff. And yet the bad guy wasn't as severely bad guy like the first movie. Mm-hmm. But the cool thing about this guy was that he actually had, like, levels of strategy to take on Gerard Butler, right? So they went, you know, gun combat didn't work out. So at the end, they went hand-to-hand combat, old school style, which was a nice play out. You know, it felt like the early, or all of 80s and early 90s action movie, you know, where they're out of bullets. Okay, hand-to-hand combat mode. Let's see who survives. And I just really liked that, how they kept playing out on different levels. So that's why I had a good time watching it, for sure.
Come on, Nick Nolte as his dad? I mean,
that was hilarious. Like, that was awesome.
Like, that's a good play. Like, that's a good little addition. Like, not great, but I liked it. You know, they added some layers to it. So
yeah, I like to see him back in action. You know,
it's crazy. They grossed exactly the same.
They grossed all the same.
Really?
No. The first one grossed a lot more. Like, that's why I think they've had money to make sequels. But the last two have opened to the same number, 21 million. Like, it's pretty interesting. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So.
That's always good, right? Making the money.
It's got a formula. I mean, it's going to do, you know, probably make another $100 million if you combine this domestic run and, you know, the international box office. And so, yeah.
See, I definitely appreciate, like, watching this trilogy also reminds me of, like, what's it called? Like, Jack Reacher and, and the Bourne series. So, like, I could see these comparing each other. It's very, like it's just action-packed. There's not...
Or even, like, Equalizer.
Oh, Equalizer, yeah. But Equalizer was just... Oh, yeah, Equalizer. Sorry, I'm thinking of Equilibrium. I'm, like, totally different.
Yeah, way different.
But, like, this in general was, like, like, the action series. I definitely like it. It's not, like, always one badass guy who could do it all. Really all. I was like, man, this guy knows everything. What does he not know, like, at this point?
Yeah.
So, I don't... What's it called? I was going to say, the other add-on I would say to the series was, it didn't feel like, you know, it was like the bar was too high and it just kept digressing. It wasn't like, even London wasn't like I get it, you know, the Bond, the president, and the main actor, Mike, he wasn't, like, yes, I could still see the Bond, but it wasn't like the first one was so elaborate how they captured the president, but the second one wasn't, like, solid. It was just them running away. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, watching all three, the build-up take 30 minutes on all three movies. Like, the formula, the intro was all 30 minutes, the same. Like, I remember looking at the time, and I was like, okay, when does the action start? Boom, and I'm like, okay, 30 minutes in the film, 30 minutes in the film, 30 minutes in the film. I'm like, okay, the action finally starts. Like, you know, try to build, but in Olympus, like, that first 30 minutes was so, like, stacked. It was just, like, watching, I'm like, okay, there's emotions involved, like, so much emotions involved, you know, and the only thing I wish they capitalized on a few things was, like, Olympus was, like, the Connor kid. You know, I thought...
Oh, yeah.
For some weird reason, you know, when they were asking for the nuclear launch code... Not the launch codes, the canceling codes to detonate the silos, to cancel the silos. For some weird reason, in my head, I thought, the kid has the third code. I guarantee you, it's in his head. I was like, why would they give a kid like
Right.
government
Sort of a
intelligence?
weird plot device, but
I swear, I was like in my head, I'm like, oh, the kid knows all
That's
these.
for the fourth film. That's for the fourth
No,
film.
but I'm not gonna lie. The whole time, I'm like, yes, the kid's gotta have the last code. I guarantee you, the dad goes, you know what? I'm sure one day something's gonna happen to me, son. Make the last code and keep it. I went way out there in the movies. I was like, all right, this is definitely like the way to go. No wonder this kid is so important in this movie. Like, you know, they're like, we're gonna find this kid.
he's a kid. You just gotta protect him. He doesn't have to have nuclear codes.
That's what I thought. That's what I
In
thought.
Child's world, you have to have nuclear codes.
I've been
to
watching
be protected.
I've been watching
If
too
we
many
ever need
movies.
to get, if we ever need to get any information out of Chai, we'll know his kid has it. Noted.
I'm so stupid.
Oh,
No, and
shit.
you're right on it. It's kind of the the diminishing returns. Like this is kind of how I felt about all series in films.
Yeah.
You know, as they continue to go on, like eventually you start to get franchise fatigue. Like
Yep.
it's each one becomes a little less sharp. Like they're good still, but they're missing those key elements from that first one. Like, and it just kind of slowly starts to dwindle off. Maybe the talent that they get to direct or write isn't as good. Like, they're just trying to milk it as long as they can. If they can keep spending 40 to 60 million to make it, and make another 100 off of that, like they're gonna do it.
Is
The
this
only exception is Marvel, of course.
Well, I mean, and they're honestly like how many sequels? Like they've done sequels, they've done trilogies. Like, but look at Iron Man. Like, yeah, we love Iron Man, but Iron Man 2 was like
We can't talk about Iron Man 2.
So right, but that's what I'm saying. Like even Marvel, as they weave their characters and stories together, are amazing. Like,
oh yeah,
hats off. But their sequels have, except Thor. Thor's the one exception. Love you, Eddie. Thor was amazing. Oh wait, he liked it. He liked Thor. Who doesn't like Thor?
Adam.
Adam
doesn't like it.
He didn't like
that
Thor
was
Ragnarok.
Yeah, that was amazing and one of the best Marvel films.
Wait.
I mean, that's why they kept him around. They brought him back to make more more Thor movies,
Yeah.
and they put him in The Mandalorian. So I think he's on the right path.
So so is this their third? Is this their finale? The Fallen, Angel Has Fallen.
Who knows? I guess it really just depends on how it does. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
think that Olympus Has Fallen was going to get a sequel, so...
I didn't know it was a book series. That's the one thing. I
Yeah,
didn't
this
know.
is the
Yeah,
book
it's
series. That's what I was gonna ask.
it's
you.
a book
Oh,
series.
It's a book series.
So
Okay.
there could be more, because the books are endless. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't mind seeing
Is
Morgan
it called
Freeman
the
again.
Fallen series, or is that what it's called?
I don't know. We have to look.
It's a good question. I did not know that these were books.
Well, I knew
Yes.
it was like books, but I just didn't know it, like how far
Can you
it went.
can you look it up on your computer, chat? Because
Yeah.
I can't do it on my phone.
Okay, you can do it. Real
Talking
quick.
to you guys.
Hang on,
I'm sorry, Chad.
I don't want to.
I'm sorry, producer. I'm sorry, producer.
Hang on. What do I call this? The Fallen series? It's not called the
Yeah.
Fallen series, is it?
No.
Fallen book series,
Is it?
or
Yeah, I don't think it is, man. Author Lauren Kate? I don't
No,
think
no, I don't think so.
that's correct, but...
What
or
is it?
step in Olympus Has Fallen book. See what comes up.
I typed everything wrong on my text.
Okay, good job.
Okay.
What Oh, that's Chai and Gagne. We're doing a video.
What's up, Jimmy?
You're on. This isn't going to be edited, is it? Are you editing, Chad?
Sort of.
He will. I got Jimmy in the background. It's okay.
I don't.
How's work
Yeah,
today, dude?
all this dead air while we're looking information up.
It's okay. This is editable. It would just be. This will be extra stuff that.
Just clip right here, Chai.
Clip it.
right here.
Clip it right here.
Yeah, clip like 2 minutes ago.
Olympus Has
2
Fallen.
minutes, 1 minute ago. Turkish. All right, Jimmy. Good
Okay,
talk.
so
Good talk.
I can't find it. All right, well we'll ignore that part. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think they should go further. I think they should just try to end it, like, at this point, because to me, like, I felt like Angel was just really weak. Like, I mean, because I didn't. Don't get me wrong. It was like his personal, like, it was almost like a good way to. I think this is the best way to end because it was like his last, like, it was, making sure that he didn't go out as a bad guy, make sure that he was loyal to his country and being patriotic. That I
Right.
think, yeah. So
And it would be a fine way to end the series, but let's be real, I'll watch another one.
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
Bring Nick
Johnny will
Nolte
go
back,
there.
like as his
Yeah.
like crazy Unabomber dad, like helping save the White House one last time. He's in the White House now, right? Like he's the
director.
head of the Secret Service.
he's
of the
director
Secret
of
Service,
Secret
so, like,
Service.
too old for this shit. Danny Glover, like, gotta do it again though, because I'm the director.
And then turn it into a TV series.
All right, here's the question. So let's say it's inevitable, and they're going to make another one. Where do they go? What do you want to see? Like, where do they go?
Japan has fallen.
Tokyo has fallen.
Oh no, I don't.
No. I got a better one. The Earth has fallen.
No, that's
The environment, the way it's falling apart. Morgan Freeman's trying to stop the Amazon fire.
Dude, it could be
with Gerard Butler.
It could be a crossover. Like, you could have Gerard Butler from Geostorm, that character. You could play two characters from different franchises. You're onto something, Sam. Earth has fallen.
They discovered that they're twin. They discovered that they were twins this whole time.
Yeah,
And
separated at birth.
This is it. Like, this is where we're gonna go.
Oh man.
We
Sign
might
me up.
just, somebody give us $5 million. We can make this work. We just need Gerard Butler, nothing else.
Well, Nick Nolte. We need 3. Nick Nolte,
you're right,
Gerard
Nick Nolte.
Butler, and Morgan Freeman. Even if Freeman does a voiceover, we're good.
And all the props from Geostorm. Oh wait, it's like all computer graphic. Never mind.
Oh my gosh.
I think Gerard Butler's next film is gonna be what's it called? Where they
300 again?
No, it's when they have all the superhero, all the action movie guys retire with
Expendables?
So he's in the
Expendables.
next Expendables. He's gonna be the next Expendables group.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious.
I mean, if Stallone could keep making Rambo movies, then
I forgot about that.
I guess
yeah.
they'll make another Expendables. Dude's like 75. How is he still doing this?
How is he still buff? How about that? He is so jacked.
Dude, he's,
I wouldn't arm
he's
wrestle
something
him.
else. Yeah.
But all right, guys.
That
So
was Chai's love for Sylvester Stallone right there.
Hey, I'm watching the new Rambo. Find me guilty. I'm gonna watch the new Rambo. It looks awesome.
I'm definitely not watching the Rambo series. I'm not gonna sit through 1 week of Rambo series. This is
Yeah, you as quick as you did the Fallen series, I think you could do this in like 2 days. You're good. It's like 5 movies, I think. 5, probably something like that.
You
Anyhow,
had no clue, like I ended up watching this like so at my work, so I watched it in like 2-3 days technically, so
okay.
but so when I found Olympus Was Fallen was on Netflix, I watched that at work, and at work I luckily that day I had 5 breaks, half an hour each, so I just watched
Nice.
like the whole 30 minutes each time, and
Nice.
I'm like okay, and it was just marinating me like okay this is good, and then the second one I came home watch. And I took it to work to watch, and then I came home to finish it.
Nice.
And then the third one, I actually watched like most of it, half of it at work, and I watched half of it like right before I went to sleep. And that's when I texted her like, "Hey, it's done. I finished this whole thing.
It's done.
It's done."
Commitment, man. Commitment. We appreciate it because we needed you to be able to talk on it, not just hear Sam and I gush about it.
Exactly. You're a good producer, Chai. You're a good producer.
So noted. Chai did not like the end of the series. However, we're going to, say that it might be because you didn't watch it at theater.
That's
Yeah.
really probably
Just saying.
The sound
Could be.
system, Chai. The sound.
I did watch it at theater. Somebody's gonna ask me where I watched this from. I did watch it at the theater. Okay, it was just
Sure.
on the phone in the theater. That's it.
Okay, buddy.
Okay. Noted.
All right.
Noted.
All right, guys. So this is it for the Fallen series and our first video content.
Test run. Our extras. Nofa
No,
extra.
No for extras.
No for extras. All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in to the podcast. Make sure you guys check out our regular Tuesday podcast with
Like,
Adam.
subscribe.
With Adam as our host. Yeah, make sure you subscribe on Instagram. Any comments, let us know what you do and you don't like about the trilogy or what we could work on. That'd be great. Any feedback, we'll take it. And if somebody can help us out with this layout, please let us know. We would definitely want to do this layout because this layout here is horrible, and we're
Are
just
you
working.
gonna post this on YouTube?
This will be all on YouTube, and then I'll do some.
Okay, so we can get comments there.
Correct. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. You guys
Thanks,
have a
guys.
wonderful time.
似てます。